Exactly. Every lawyer has a story behind them studying law. For many people, it is the money.
Many people just, my
Yes,
son, my lawyer, let me just,
exactly. And the show off is always there. I don't know about that profession, but when people hear you are a lawyer, you are a law graduate, they just exactly. But for me, I don't like people being maltreated. I don't like people being cheated. Okay? And I think the best way to channel that energy is to study law. It seems to look like we don't want to move in the normal way. We want to have normal way. Because how would you be craving for a guy that beats a lady? What do you get? What do you get? I saw an interview of Kaka's wife. I don't know if it's popular footballer. She said the reason why she broke up with him was because he was too perfect. He's too perfect. In the sense that he provides, before she even requests for it, he has done it. He's always all around her. He's always acting all husband. And she doesn't like it. Who doesn't want a caring husband? Who doesn't want a husband that provides? So you can see this generation is already. I'm sure we are ones that sodom and
Welcome back to another series of Emmy's Discovery, the best podcast in the world, from Africa to Europe, from Europe to all over the world. My name is Emmanuel, and I am your host for this session. It's an amazing time. And please, if you're a new subscriber, do well to subscribe. Also like, also share this video because you are about to get quality value in all space. And for returning subscribers, you are most welcome. So without more further ado, let's get into the video. My guest for today is actually a professional lawyer. Wow, drum rolls, professional lawyer in our midst, and he has worked in different sectors, worked in different institutions, and he's going to be giving us insights. I'm going to be giving us his experience, going to be giving us everything concerning. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Adewale.
thank you. Thank you for having me on the
Yes,
show.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome to Emmy's Discovery.
Thank you so much.
Experience, nothing but experience and everything. I'm so just happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here too.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Okay, so let's get right into it. You're familiar with actually two dialects or even more because I don't know if you're familiar with more. But you speak solely the Hausa dialect and also the Yoruba. So how do you find it? Because I see that as something amazing. Is it amazing to you?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
It is. For many people, they get to speak one language or two. But I think for me, I speak two.
Wow.
I speak.
You should count English to English.
Yes,
Yoruba,
that makes it
that makes it three.
English,
And if possible,
Yoruba,
pidgin too. If
Hausa.
possible.
Okay, if pidgin counts as a language, I'll count it
Yes.
four. So
Yeah.
the most importantly, Hausa. I find it very amazing because when I tell people how long it took me to learn Hausa, they tend to think I lie. I learned
Because you speak
Hausa.
it so fluently.
Yes, and I learned Hausa in 3 months.
Wow.
Yes, I learned Hausa in 3 months.
That's huge.
And I think the reason for that is when you are amidst people that speaks the tribe or the language, yes, you have to learn it. And one thing about Hausa is it's just you learning the keywords.
Okay.
You tend to join it yourself.
Just join it
Yeah,
yourself.
so that's
Like
I find it
like
very
rice and
amazing.
you just join it.
Exactly. I find it very amazing.
Wow. So you said you also grew in the north.
Yes.
How was going in the north like? Coming away from your home and you just have to leave your space, going to another land. You are now like the Abraham of this generation. Your father go to another land. So how was it for you?
Okay. I'll say I grew up in the north because of the length of years I spent in the north. So moving from my place down to the north, at first it was a very difficult experience. Leaving everything you have behind, your friends, your acquaintance, and all that. Moving
At a young age,
at a very young age. So it was never an easy one. But then when I got there, I started having friends there. Okay, started seeing how beautiful the culture is, how beautiful the people is. And one thing is, wherever I go, I know God always bless me with beautiful people. Yes, you're an example of that. So I
Yeah.
I catch up really quick because
Wow.
of the people around.
Around you.
And I am always one of the people. I will always lead the front when
Mm.
people say, "Yeah, let's divide Nigeria." I'll tell them it
Mm.
will never work
It's
because
never one.
until you go somewhere, you can never determine how
Mm.
loving. Outside people are very kind.
Wow.
They are loving.
Wow.
They are accommodating and all
You know,
that.
so
So
someone hearing you from from the west or from Igbo per se, they might think that what's this person saying? You don't tell you
that,
about
that's why I'm saying you need a first-hand experience.
yeah,
Go there, live among them.
live
You
among
understand what
them.
I'm saying? Every tribe has its flaws.
Mm.
We are all we are all good people. That's just it.
Mm.
That's just
There's
it.
always a good person inside of
Yes,
us.
yes,
Mm.
there is even if the percentage is small.
Mm.
So moving there was not so easy, but
Mm.
then
What took you there?
okay. So there was an incident that happened when I was in secondary school. My
Okay.
uncle came from the
Yeah.
north. My uncle is a nurse. He works at
Wow.
orthopedic hospital.
Wow.
So I
Wonderful.
think there are only three orthopedic hospitals in Nigeria. So I think
Okay.
there's one in Port Harcourt, there's one in Kano, and I don't know where the third one is.
Mm.
So my uncle works at that orthopedic Kano. So he came home. He asked me what I wanted to become. I told him I want to
Mm.
become a lawyer. And he was like,
Lawyer.
"Ah, you want to become a lawyer with this
Mm.
accent of yours, with the way you
Mm.
speak?" So he brought a proposition that I follow him. I go
Okay.
stay with him and his family,
Mm.
and then I get to work on my education and
Mm.
make certain changes. At first, I did not want to do.
Okay, so it was like you will not stand a chance, like in the law
Yes,
space,
yes,
by your
exactly,
Yoruba accent.
exactly.
Okay.
Because it was so worse there. I know it's still not perfect now, but
Mm.
it was so worse there.
It was obvious.
Yes,
Mm. Nobody needs
yes,
to tell a social you just know this one is from Yoruba. That kind
exactly,
of thing.
exactly.
Mm.
So after a lot of persuasion,
Yeah.
I gave in and just went there. I left when I was in SS2, third
Mm.
term SS2. So basically SS2 was over
SS2.
then. So
And
the
you
plan
said you
is
spent 8 to 9 years there.
yes. So
Wow.
I spent more than 9 years
Mm.
looking at it. I spent more than 9 years. So
But were
I
you
went.
returning back home like within intervals, or you just stayed there
No,
the whole 9 years?
no, I was there. I left 2011.
Okay.
Yes, if I'm correct.
Mm.
2011. And the time I had to go back home was 2015 when my dad died.
Oh.
So that was when I had
Sorry.
to return home.
Mm.
So from 2011 to 2015, no, I did not go. I was just there.
Wow, those days.
Yes.
That's huge. Okay, so most humans they don't like to kind of wait. That kind of thing. There's always this especially when everybody's like kind of moving or everybody's kind of like going forward, bringing it to the normal space of like Gen Z's, like people aspiring to okay get admission, all of that. But you now, this is you are there in front of you 6 good years of your life. You're about to take like a bold decision, a bold step to just give yourself commitment. What was your thought at first when you were about to enter the law school, and what drove you to the end?
Okay. So when I was seeking admission,
Yes.
all was in my mind is
Mm.
I am very young. Wow. So even now, I say it to myself, I am
You're
very
very
young.
young.
And people tell me that you are getting old. You need to get a wife. You need to get married. You need to do this. You need to do that. I tell myself,
I'm
still
very young.
So that was like my watchword then.
Yeah.
I'm young, and
Mm.
I didn't look at the years as 6 years. I was just looking at it as
Mm.
something that
You
will
can
come
walk
and
in the
go.
park.
Yes, to come and go before the twinkle of an eye to
Mm.
just
It's
come and
over.
go. So when I heard that the practice of law, the for the practice of
Yeah.
law you have to study for 5 years,
5 years.
and Nigerian school now
Mm.
it
Five
did
years.
pass 5 years. I was
It's
supposed to
more.
graduate by 2020, but
Mm.
COVID and
And everything just
pushed it to 2021. So the truth is, I looked at myself as a very young guy, and I'm not in a rush. I
Mm.
wasn't in a rush at
Rush
all.
at all.
Do you know when I finished secondary school,
Okay.
my uncle said I needed a year
Mm.
of space to myself.
Okay.
He wants
Like,
me
get
to
yourself to know
yes,
yourself.
he wants me to see how the world works.
Mm.
So when I tell people that I've been teaching since 2014, they'll be like, "How old are you?" When I finished secondary school 2014,
Okay.
my uncle told me that I'm not going to be writing Jamb that year.
Mm.
And I tell you what, my uncle is always one of the persons I'll be grateful for
Okay.
life,
Mm.
because he opened my eyes to some
So to
things.
some certain things about
Yes.
life.
That 2014 that
Yeah.
I finished my secondary school,
Yeah.
I was eager to like take the energy into
Okay.
the university and
Mm.
start.
And just
Yes. But
let
my
them
uncle
show them
said,
what you've got.
yes. But my uncle said, no, no,
It's not
no,
your time.
it's not yet time. You have to
Mm.
wait for a year before you go to the university. I felt
Okay.
like my uncle hated me. Like,
Mm.
what is this? Basically, everyone will finish together. Even those that could not get admission that year,
Yeah.
they went to this college of art and
Mm.
whatever that
Just
after
to
you
end
are
time to
done,
get
they
into
will take
school.
you to level two
Yeah, that kind
in a
of thing. You do
yes,
like one year then.
yes. So I felt like my uncle was maltreating me. So he
Mm.
told me within that space of 1 year I should go and teach. I started teaching, and after the end of that year I took a very hard time to
Mm.
study,
To
because
study.
my uncle would always sit at my front. And I was young then. My
Yeah.
uncle would sit at my front with belt in his
With
hand
cane.
that Baba, you must study.
Wow.
So after I wrote my jam, I got 263 in my
Wow.
jam 2015. And when I wrote my post UTME too, because there was still post
What's the
UTME
time to
then.
write? Yeah.
So I wrote post UTME and I got 273. So the odds was
Mm.
100% I'm going to
100% you
get
are getting admission.
admission.
Yeah.
But I was still not sure if I'm going to get law. But
Okay.
when jam, because then jam will give you admission first,
Yeah.
then
Before
the
the
school.
school then
So
gives you
jam gave me
admission.
admission
Yeah.
and it was law the same thing for the school.
Okay.
So you see, if I always say it up to today, if
Yeah.
I had defied my uncle's order, I'd be like, I must write that jam that year. I
Yeah.
might even end up getting 150. Yes, it will not be up to what I want,
Yeah. Up to
and
what
then
you
I'll not
wanted.
be able to study.
Yeah.
So you see, I waited during the period of that 1 year.
Mm.
I gathered experience.
I know many people of our generation they trivialize this waiting period. They feel like it's a waste of time.
You see, I also thought that too when my uncle
Mm.
told me to wait for me. I felt like he's maltreating me, it's
Yeah.
waste of time. And now by next year I also be in level two. Now I will go and start in level one again. There is no such thing as a waste of time when you are waiting. And you see, the most important thing to do while you are waiting is when you are waiting, don't just sit down.
Mm.
Be doing something meaningful that will help you when you are eventually ready. You see,
Mm.
one thing about teaching is as you are passing out, you are gaining
Yeah.
too. While I was teaching then, I was teaching in the nursery and primary school. When I
Okay.
was teaching, I tend to like gain more
Gain
experience.
more
I met
experience.
teachers that have been there
You have been
before.
there in the
They've gone
field.
through what I
Mm.
want to start going through,
Okay.
their advice and everything, and even learning new words.
Mm.
All those things helped me. So by the time I was ready,
Okay.
it was a piece of cake.
Wow.
So waiting is never a waste. It's never a waste.
And you said something before that you just the urge to actually go through the law school was that you did not like seeing people being cheated.
Exactly. Every lawyer has a story behind them
Mm.
studying law. For
Okay.
many people, it is the money.
Yeah. Many people just my
Yes,
son a lawyer. Let me just that kind of
exactly.
thing.
And the show off is always
Mm.
there. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know of other profession, but when people hear you are a lawyer or
Mm.
you are a law graduate,
Just places you high up there. Just
exactly.
look at it highest thing.
But for me, I don't like people being maltreated. I don't like people being cheated.
Okay.
And I think the best way to channel that energy
Yes.
is to study law and then become a human rights activist. If I see you
Mm.
are being cheated, I can actually help you out and all that. But most importantly, in the nearest future, we'll have family to feed.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and law is one of the lucrative
Lucrative that can help you
professions. Yeah. So,
just to navigate. Then you'll not be earning the millions. Okay, so definitely, obviously, you're already in the space.
yeah.
In our nation, currently in Nigeria, because our lovely nation, that we have seen many violation of laws, not neglecting even those in power. But you obviously, I know you don't make lawyers don't have that right. But what would be your own take? What do you think can bring to the table to actually bring forth a reformation in the balance, just to give us a new Nigeria?
Okay. So I think one of the things
Yeah.
that many lawyers do
Mm.
that bring injustice to the system is
Okay.
supporting crime.
Yeah.
Supporting crime in the sense that
Everybody is doing it.
yes,
Mm.
you know I was speaking with one of my friends while we were still undergraduate,
Okay.
and he's a barrister that he
Mm.
practices in Ibadan.
Okay.
He's one of those friends that you always pray you have. My friend will have exam, I will have exam, and
Mm.
my friend will understand the course better than I do, but he will take time, he will leave whatever he studied to
Just
explain
to
better.
teach you to.
You understand? So those are the kind of friends I had when I was in the university, and
Wow.
the friends you can never forget.
True.
So we were discussing one day, and he told me that you see, one of the places you can get money
Mm.
quickly as a lawyer is real estate and then electoral defense.
Mm.
You know, when a governor has a case in court
Yeah.
related to electoral issues,
Yeah.
they
True.
tend to pump out some money.
Mm.
But then he told me something that day that the reason why people go into it
Yeah.
is because of the money. And if you look at those lawyers that do those things, they are not upright and just people. And at the end of the day, they end up either dying or they end up losing everything they have.
Yeah.
So what he was saying is, eventually when we become a lawyer, we
Yeah.
must always make sure that we are doing the right
We're
thing.
doing the right thing.
Not for the money.
Mm.
Money will surely come. When you are diligent, when you
Money
know
will
what you are doing,
definitely come.
money will definitely come.
True.
So this is how many people are missing it in this generation. They believe,
Mm.
let me just
We
do
just
quick and
find
get
it
this
in for the
money.
money.
But when you are upright, when you are just at what you
Mm.
do, the money will eventually come. It might take a long time, but the money will definitely come. And those kind of money, when they come,
Come.
they always come to stay.
Yeah.
So imagine someone taking a case that you know this person is already. I know the camera
Mm.
rule applies.
Yeah.
You have to listen to every prospective client or your
Yeah.
clients.
Just
You have to
to
listen to them.
listen to them.
But after listening to the client, if there's conflict,
Mm.
yes, the camera rule applies. But there are some things that
Okay.
they can shift away the camera rule.
Yeah.
If the case is against you. Let's say,
Okay.
for example, the client that committed the offense
Yes.
committed it against probably one of my family member.
Okay.
You know, I will not be convenient
Mm.
defending
Defending
someone
such
that's
person.
ahead. So, or if it is against your principle or
True.
your ethics. For
Yeah.
example, somebody insulted my religion.
Mm.
It will not be appropriate for me to defend that
I think
person.
that person is
So
difficult.
after looking at all the surrounding circumstances, you can
Mm.
decide to not represent the client. So if someone has done something bad, something you find offensive to the law of human and nature, and
Mm.
then you go on to represent the person because of money,
Mm.
I don't find that appealing,
Mm.
So I think the best way I
I
can
think the person
contribute,
loses integrity in that kind of
yes.
thing. Mm.
So I think the best way to contribute to my own to my own quarter
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
doing the right
Doing
thing,
the right thing.
taking the right cases and
Mm.
always going for what is right. If I am saying I don't like injustice being done to people,
Yeah.
and that is why I studied law,
Okay.
what would be my excuse if I'm representing people who are treating others in a bad manner?
Mm.
So I think the best way I can contribute is doing
Doing the right
what
thing.
is right and representing people for the right cause.
That's big. Okay, I find a part of your story which is very interesting. Um, you spoke earlier and said that your dad was actually he never forced you to actually
Yes.
choose this kind of
Yes.
profession. When you lost him in 2014, how did that shake you? It has been amazing so far in the video. Please do not to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done that, do to subscribe, and also like and also share and also comment. Let's get back to the video.
Um, August 28th, 2015,
Mm.
when I died. I think it was a Wednesday. It should be a Tuesday.
Mm.
So I was preparing for work. You know, I told you I started teaching
Yeah, you said
2014.
20. Yeah.
So when I got admission, no, I have not gotten admission.
Okay.
After I finished writing Jamb, I told my dad. It was even my uncle that called him
Mm.
that I passed my Jamb and all that. So I was preparing for writing post UTME.
UTME.
So let's say today's Wednesday.
Mm.
My post UTME is next week Saturday.
Okay.
So my dad died on Tuesday. And you know the distance from Kano to my hometown
Yeah.
is like 16 hours.
Mm.
So I had to travel. They've already buried him. You know, I told my grandparents were Muslim.
Yeah, you
So
said
he was buried in the
the Muslim way.
Muslim way. So it was buried before I got home.
Mm.
But going back to the question, how it should be. Well, can you imagine I did not cry?
Wow.
Because I told myself something. whatever cry or whatever tears I shed today is not the real one. Days will come where I will go to the corner of my room and cry and cry. And I tell you, I've done it times without number because there are times that I I know that if my dad was alive, if my dad is alive, this
Yeah,
thing would
this
be
thing was
easy.
done. Yeah.
This thing I would have done it. I wouldn't even need to call anybody.
Mm.
And those times, tears will come
Keep
uncontrollably.
rushing.
So people thought
Mm.
that day when I came home, people
Yeah.
thought me not crying, I was being callous or wicked.
Being a strong
I'm not even sure there's anyone that loved my dad as myself.
wow.
I was trying to be strong, yes, for not crying,
Mm.
but I know that days will come that will
You
require me
need
to cry in full.
just to reboot and just to come back better.
It shook me because imagine someone you talk to almost every day, someone you share whatever is going on with your life with,
Yeah.
and then they tell you the person is no more.
This is,
Like, imagine the feeling.
mm. But you have spoken somewhat loudly about your uncle.
Yeah.
Does it kind of fill the vacuum your dad left?
Well, nobody can feel that vacuum, but he tried. He tried. My uncle was responsible for the payment of my school fee.
Wow.
From the beginning to the end. Even though it was not a huge amount, but the
Mm.
intention matters.
Intentionality.
Yes.
Was
When I got admission, the school fee was 26,000 because it was a federal school.
Mm.
The only time I paid the highest school fee was 5,500. That was only five. So he did a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
Mm. Those kind of people, you don't let them go.
at all.
Yeah. You have spoken so loudly about relationships. You speak so loudly about that in your posts, everything. Like you're always telling people, go and make sure you marry right to make sure this one. You're always like, thank you, it's time for you to go and get married. Are you in a relationship person?
Can I pass?
Person, this one you must give us an answer. We are waiting.
Okay. What is the question?
Are you in a relationship person?
Of course, yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. I'm in a relationship.
Wow. So that means we're expecting wedding anytime. Okay, so we see many broken homes, like Gen Z, many Gen Z broken homes, and can you point that to ignorance or neglecting certain red flags that was actually visible in the relationship stage?
Okay. So talking about red flags.
Yeah.
Not all red flags are meant to be bad.
Okay.
And not all red flags are really red flags.
Okay.
There are some things that they are just normal things,
Mm.
and there are some you need to take very, very carefully. Now, like I said, I'm from a different background
Yeah.
and I'm from a different place. There are some things we do in my house that they don't do in other people's
Yeah,
house.
sure.
So if I'm doing something like that, I don't think it can be counted as a red flag, in as much as it's not harmful.
Mm.
For example, let me look at something we do in my house that I don't think every other person.
Everybody
Okay,
does.
when I was still very small,
Okay.
my mom does not serve us food in different plates.
Okay.
She served myself and my two siblings
In the same
food
thing.
in the same plate, in the same
Okay.
bowl. So we eat in the same bowl. And I think the reason behind that is she wants full standard
Just keep
eating.
that bonding.
Yes.
Mm.
So if someone is coming from another house
Mm.
and
They are eating on
they are eating on different
Yeah,
plates,
it's
I shouldn't
difficult.
count that as a red flag, right?
Okay.
I'll just say it is different in practice.
Mm.
So, but there are some things that they are so obvious. They are obvious, so glaring. It is audible to the deaf and visible to the blind.
blind.
A lady that's
But you know, some people say they are in love. So they say you cannot
Well-
advise someone that is in love.
Well, they say love is blind, and that is
Yes.
why at the end of the day, before the eyes is open, you will see they are already filing for divorce. So while you are falling in love, make sure your eyes are wide open.
Why open?
Yes.
Mm.
You see, there are some things that you see in some ladies, and you know that instantly you know that this thing is
This one.
wrong.
Mm.
Imagine a lady that actually smokes and drinks.
Mm.
Is that not red flag enough?
It's red. It's red.
You know, one thing leads to the other. Somebody that drinks and smokes can do anything.
True.
Can do anything. So that one is an obvious red flag.
Mm.
I'm not saying ladies only, even guys. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this generation of ours, but it seems to look like we don't want to move in the normal way. We want the abnormal way.
Yeah.
How would you be craving for a guy that beats a lady?
That
What do
if
you
it's not
get?
hitting me,
What
it's
do you
not
get?
strong enough or it's not.
I saw an interview of Kaka's wife. I don't know this popular footballer, this
Okay,
football
Kaka,
legend.
yeah.
She said the reason why she broke up with him was
Mm.
because he's too perfect.
It's too
In the
perfect.
sense that he provides, he before she even requests for it, he has done it. He's always all around her. He's always acting all husband, and she doesn't like it. Who doesn't want a caring
Same
man?
husband.
Who doesn't want a husband that provides?
Mm.
So you can see this generation is already. I'm sure we are worse than Sodom and
It's
Gomorrah. So
something else.
the red flags will always show when you're in a relationship with
Mm.
somebody.
Okay.
So you will not be the one to determine is this really a red flag or
Red
something
flag.
I can change.
Or
Imagine a lady that smokes and drinks that you'd be like, after we are done,
after when we get married, she
I'll
will
change her.
she will change.
It's
That,
not even
that that's
possible.
that, that's a very big problem.
You see,
Mm.
and another challenge now is you see church sisters saying
Mm.
they want to get married to people from
Outside.
the
In fact,
outside.
I've not heard it come out. Someone will say that drug brothers they are boring, that kind of
God
thing. I'm
bless
like,
you. You say church brothers, they are boring, they are this, they are that.
what
And
you
then
want?
you
You want
go
something
outside the
smoking?
church to get married to
Yeah.
other religion.
Mm.
It's a very deadly thing.
And tomorrow they are filing for divorce.
And the amount of stress and the amount of bad things that would have happened to them within that period, even before
Yeah.
the divorce, they might not be able to take from it.
Mm.
So the red flags will always be there.
Yeah.
It's always left for us to take from it and see if this lady is worth living or not.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you go on to get married to somebody who you are already seeing the some people see this is our generation here. Some are not even red flags, they are holding the banner. The red is so glaring, they are holding the banner like this. The banner is always
Only the banner of the red flag.
I think 2 or 3 years ago, I was with a lady and she was telling me that if we are getting married, our dress, the wedding gown is going to, she does not want a wedding gown anything lesser than 1.5 million. At that moment, I knew we were never
Are
going
you
to get
not yet
married.
married though?
I know we were never
Never
going to
going
get
to-
married. I just had that
It was
feeling
there.
urgently
Mm.
because it's so obvious she's materialistic.
Yeah.
And when you get married to a woman like that, hey,
Mm. You will suffer.
hmm,
The suffering will be long.
the thing will see waiting in man, no be talk.
Okay. Um. First out of three, you have three siblings,
Yes.
and the pressure of a firstborn. You know, many people firstborn,
Yes.
firstborn. Does it always get to you, and how do you deal with it?
Well, actually, I like sleep a lot. Sleep is just like a block from the outside
So
world.
not yourself out from the pressure and the noise.
So that by the way, but
Mm.
the pressure will always come. That's
True.
what's true.
Yeah.
The pressure will always come. So
Mm.
it depends on how you handle them. And I thank God for my siblings.
Yeah.
They are not the type that put so much pressure on you. No, I think our parents have taught us a lot. They have taught us to be a lot of things. They have taught us to be good. They have taught
Yeah.
us to be kind and all that.
True.
So I have not come from a family of pressure.
Mm.
There are some family. The,
Pressure
the,
is just
the parents that will tell you, look at your
Look at
mates,
your
look
mates
at
are doing. Look at your mates. Yeah.
even when everyone is speaking about marriage, my mom will still be it will happen at the accorded time. So you see, the pressure will always come,
Mm.
even outside your family. When you see your friends doing things,
There's some things you be like,
well,
am I?
when you cannot do what your friends are doing,
Mm.
you definitely have to wait. So the
Yeah,
pressure will
sure.
come and all that. I've always handled it in, let me say, 2 or 3 ways.
Yeah.
One, I always make reference to the person around. I know I'm not like every other
Every
person.
person,
I'm different.
unique values.
Two, I know that for sure. Whether I try
Mm.
now, no matter how much I try, it will still happen at that time that God has accorded for it to happen.
True.
And the third one, I sleep it off.
I'll sleep on the pressure.
I sleep it off.
Okay, I want to just strip back. Um, there's something that happened. Um, you said you moved to the north. Sorry about tripping back, but I feel there's something we need to pick up from there. How did your mom receive that? Because I know mothers are always attached to their children,
Yeah.
especially you are first seed.
Yeah.
So how did she receive that? That was
My-
a struggle there.
My mom never wanted me to go. In fact, my mom cried for days. She did not want me to go.
Wow.
She did not want me to go. She did not. Because I'm not like the closest to my mom. Like my junior sister is the closest. Well, she's the senior. She's the closest. But my mom never wanted me to go. I'm close to my mom the way a child should be. But you know, female children always have
Yeah.
this closest.
Yes.
So my mom never wanted me to go. She told me not to go and all that. But
Mm.
in the long run, she gave in to. I don't know. At a point, at first I said I was never going to go, but at a point I begin to see the bigger picture that ah, I'll move to a city.
Yeah.
And my uncle has a my uncle has a sugar coated mouth. My uncle said all sort of things. When you move there, I'll buy you a new phone.
Yeah.
I obviously I didn't have a phone then.
Yeah.
He said I'll buy you a phone.
Mm.
And in my place we draw water from the well. He
Okay.
said he has.
Go.
He said I don't even need to fetch water, which is it was true. We don't fetch water there. In the north you buy water.
Mm.
You buy water. You don't need to fetch water. Do this, do that. So he said, you are not going to be doing anything. And then my mom was into something, so I hawk as I
Okay.
can. So I felt I can easily live from all of this stress.
Mm.
So on the long run, my mom gave in, but she
Yes.
never wanted me
She
to
never
go.
wanted
That's
to
it.
go.
She never wanted me to go.
The attachment was still there.
Yes.
That's been a wonderful time. Oh, trust me, I don't want all of this to stop up. Every good thing that has a beginning surely has a name. But let's take our last question. If there was one thing that would give this generation to actually hold on that they need to actually navigate through life, what would it be?
Well, this is the most obvious answer. Holding on to God.
Mm.
That's really the only thing. Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And all of that things shall be added. But the Bible did not say one must be everything.
Mm.
So if you are looking forward to things, if you are looking forward to doing things, I think the best thing to hold on to is God.
That's good. It's fine.
And that is what we are actually lacking in our generation today. Many people just want to get things done. They don't want to care about God. So the obvious answer is holding on to God.
Thank you so much, Adewale. It has been an amazing time. It has been an amazing time. If you have not subscribed to this one, please do well to subscribe. Also, do well to share this video because it's going to be reaching a lot and you don't want to miss out. Share to your loved one, share to your family, share to every single person that you know. Share it now, share it now. Okay, so we'll see you on our next video on our next episode and keep watching Feliz Discovery. Cheers.